Amrita Tarang, where every voice creates a wave. Today, we are privileged to have with us Quizmaster Snehaj Srinivas. Welcome, sir. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Amrita. I'm hoping you are enjoying being here and looking forward to all the events and quizzes that are upcoming. So, we are really privileged to have you here, and I hope to learn a lot more in this session that we are having. So, can we get into the questions?
Sure, good morning. It's a pleasure over here.
Yeah. So, you have been associated with quizzing for over 2 decades and you have conducted over 2000 professional quizzes. So, how has the role of quizzes evolved from a mere competition to a structured educational and skill developmental tool?
Quizzing has undergone multiple evolution, it seems. Way back before the internet revolution, we had quizzes that was like ask a question, give 4 multiple choices, pick one from the list, that's it. If you know it, you get it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. But from that kind of question answer game, quizzing has evolved as a powerful mind game which not just tests the knowledge but the skills more importantly. So it could be like skills of observation, analytical skill, logical reasoning. Multiple skills are being incorporated in the questions. So that is the major change, if you ask that way, that happened in quizzes. That means from a knowledge game to a knowledge plus skill plus attitude game combined.
Okay. So, in your experience, how do quizzes contribute to life skills, such as critical thinking, decision making, teamwork, and confidence building?
If you put it that way, students who are in quizzing from very early, say even we have students actively quizzing from the first standard onwards in certain schools. So if in quizzing they are continuously facing questions that test their as just what you said, test their critical thinking, test their out of the box thinking, most importantly how they face success, how they face failures. So when students keep on undergoing or they keep on getting these kind of questions, or they are getting practice to how to answer these kind of questions, that will reflect in some way or other in the questions that they are going to face in their life itself. So this we have first hand experience. For the last say 20 years we have been documenting students who are actively into quizzing. Many of them use this game beautifully to crack the examinations of their life, like civil service examinations. Many of them are in IAS, IPS, IFS, and whatever target they had, they knew that this kind of questions are going to come in the examinations, interviews. So once a question comes, they approach questions in a different way compared to others. A quizzer also look at the question in a three-dimensional way. They just check the question whether any clues are there, whether the question setter has left anything intentionally to reach the answer. So the attitude part is most important thing, because nowadays many of the questions in quizzes are like they will confuse you and they will make you leave the, I mean they will force you to quit it. But a quizzer always try to find opportunities. They approach the question in a different way. They work out on the clues, they connect the dots and reach the answer. So this is exactly what major competitive examinations are doing. It's not like whether they won't be necessarily testing the depth of your knowledge or depth of your reading. These days more importantly they test their problem solving skill. So for that you need to connect the dots, you need to observe, you need to analyze, you need to use a logic, and along with that you may have to possess good leadership qualities, decision making skills, time management. So all these things are involved in professional quizzing these days. So obviously someone who is continuously undergoing this kind of quizzing for 10 or 12 years will definitely get an upper hand. So that is the logic behind this.
Yeah, so I think while talking about the interwoven aspect of life skills in quizzing, we definitely have to talk about Q Factory. So there are programs like Making of Quizzers and Q Positive by Q Factory that focuses on structured training. So what are the core competencies that make a good quizzer or a quizmaster, and where do quizzing stand in the startup ecosystem in Kerala?
We started this Q Factory way back in the year 2000. That was called Dreams that time. We had our Kalam sir who asked us to dream. So we started it in 2000 and we had a mentor called Shabari Girish, she was from Singapore. So we started it and slowly we certain friends who were graduates or we were students that time. So we started playing this game and after some time it became serious. We realized that there is no serious attempt in quizzing in Kerala. We started watching quizzes by KP Sunil sir, he was the prominent quiz master that time. So when we went to see these quizzes, we realized that we don't know anything about our state or country. So that was a moment of realization. So we started continuously watching. We searched a lot and was shocked to realize that there has not yet been a single quizzing company in Kerala. So we thought of giving it a try. So initial first couple of years we had support from a lot of IAS IPS officers who supported a lot, who realized the power and potential of the game of quizzing. It started out, it was started like that. Then slowly programs evolved. Dreams became Quiz Kerala, then it became Q Factory. We went through the question sets of major competitive examinations across the world, major scholarship examinations, major quizzes, and we were able to formulate something called Q positive. We called it making of quizzes that time. So we were able to divide the major topics that used to continuously get featured in quizzes into 9 major topics and subtopics. So finally it evolved as a course like thing, and just like we have cricket training or football training, we have quizzing training these days. So anyone who is taking this will have a basic idea on what kind of questions they ask, how do they frame these questions. So it's going on now. Major schools are coming up, major colleges are coming up. We recently had a tie-up with NIT Calicut. Discussions are on the way with IIM Kozhikode. Amrita Vidyapeetham is already in the front run. They have already tied up with the International Quizzing Association. So it's going on. Q Positive is evolving. We have Q Positive chapters in all 14 districts of Kerala. District collectors are heading the International Quizzing Association chapters. So all this happened in the last 3 years. Now within 5 years, I think Kerala will be known as the quizzing capital of the world.
That's wonderful. So while talking about Q Factory, I would also like to know more about the biggest quizzing festival in the world, Reverberate. And also, I would like to ask if there are any ongoing championships, like quizzing championships, that are happening that we do not know of.
Yeah, this Reverberate happened when I was a student. I was in Calicut University, medical biochemistry was the course, and we started it off as a quiz competition or quizzing event only in the initial year, but gradually it evolved as a quizzing festival. So again, when we talk of quizzing festivals, we never had something like that in Kerala. So we thought of starting it. So in the initial years we had 2 or 3 quizzes only. Then in the second year it became 4. Then in the third year it became 2 days festival. Then slowly it evolved as a 5 days fully fledged quiz festival where we had quizzes on any topics like science, sports, literature, music, movies. We had quizzes for school students, college students, couple, ladies. Even midnight quizzing happened. The quizzes started at 9 in the morning and it went up to 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock midnight. People from across India started coming up from Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai and all. Even families came from Dubai and we used to get enquiries from outside India. So it was in Kozhikode. So Kozhikode is famous for its beaches and biryani. So Hindu and all started writing articles like quiz tourism. So finally, on the 12th year, we had our MP in Calicut. He was asking whether this could be possibly the biggest in India for sure. So we wrote to the world body because they are the one who should endorse all these things. So IQA went through all their databases and finally they endorsed that this is the biggest of its kind in the world and officially conferred a world record for us. Even many district collectors and IAS IPS officers came to this festival. Some of them participate in the quizzes and some of them conduct quizzes and they may participate in one and the next quiz they will be doing. So it was like Woodstock of quizzing in India. And yeah, 12 editions happened and the 12th edition we received the official title, the biggest quizzing festival in the world. So that is about Reverberate Festival, all thanks to Calicut University who initially started. And about the quizzes that's happening currently, as you know, every game has got a world champion. Like chess, we have a world champion, we have national champions in selected countries, then we have state champions, we have district champions. So this 4-tier structure is there in almost every game if you see. But quizzing, even though it started in India some 80 years back, we still don't have a national champion in quizzing. That is actually unbelievable. We never had an official national champion for India in quizzing. We never had a state champion in quizzing in any of the 28 states. So we started talking to the world body IQA. This discussion started in the year 2012, and after say around 10-12 years of marathon discussions, they finally thought of launching this thing. They said even their headquarters is in Europe. They said even in Europe they don't have this thing called structured district champions or state champions. We never had a registered quiz player kind of thing in quizzing. So they thought of experimenting all these in Asia, and they chose India as the Asian headquarters, and they chose Kerala as the headquarters of IQA in Asia. So in Kerala they launched last year. They wrote to Kerala government declared all sort of support. They directed district collectors to launch IQA chapters and head the chapters and make use of this game, explore the game for the general public and students. So finally they ended up with Kerala State Quizzing Championship, in which every year each district of Kerala will declare their district champions, official champions. Then all these district champions are going to compete it for the official state champion team of Kerala. So that happened last year, first time in the history of the game of quizzing, a state in India declared its official champions. This is the second edition, and this time I am so happy to tell this that Amrita Vidyapeetham is the official partner of IQA to organize this quizzing championship. That is happening while I am talking now. It's happening in the district of Kannur. I think Kasaragod today. Tomorrow that will be Kannur. So after all 14 districts done, we will be having the state championship. So that is the major ongoing event. Any player, maybe a chess player or cricket player, they have the benchmark things like being a district champion, being a state champion, national champion, world champion. These are the benchmarks. So we are happy that we were able to introduce the same benchmark in the game of quizzing. So that is the most important event in a calendar year happening, and that's happening currently. It's going on in Kerala.
Okay, that is path-breaking, and I'm sure everybody, all of us at Amrita, are really happy to be a part of it in some way. So, sir, you have trained students as well as educators. So, how should teachers integrate quiz-based learning into formal education systems without reducing it to rote recall?
Excellent question. Actually, quizzing is an educational tool that teachers can make use of it. They can explore it like anything in the teaching, in their teaching strategies. Because currently, as we all know, the students are like they are in the scrolling generation. They keep on scrolling. Their attention span has drastically reduced. So it happens every decade or so. We see some technology evolving and the negative impacts of this technology. So this time, the attention span of the student has drastically came down. They are not curious, they are not receptive, they are not enthusiastic. We know all this. So teachers has to keep on changing their strategies accordingly. So if they start using the game of quizzing, especially the uh, recognition, reward, engagement, entertainment, if they are able to mix all these in the academics, in their teaching, then only I think students will be engaged in a better way, and in such kind of atmosphere like prizes, winning, losing, pressure handling. So whatever things they learn in such an atmosphere will be better absorbed. That is the basic strategy behind game. We call it gamification of gamification in learning or gamification in academics. So I think that is something the teachers can beautifully make use of. But unfortunately in Kerala such a trend has not yet been evolved, but it's happening it seems. In Europe and all, there are a lot of research going on in this particular area, like how quizzing, the game of quizzing can be used in teaching and academics. But in Kerala, randomly we used to get calls from major school groups or college groups to have workshops and sessions for the teachers to give a first-hand experience on how this can be effectively done in teaching. Like, as you know, all students would like to get appreciated, rewarded. They feel accomplished once they get praises, once they get appreciated for their knowledge. So that will be encouraging for them to keep upgrading their knowledge and skills. So that is the basic idea. Quizzing will help a lot if approached in that way.
I hope more teachers here, adapt this strategy in our schools and educational institutions, because it definitely seemed to be something that would help a great deal. So, talking about how everything is going on today with the rise of digital platforms and AI driven content, how do you see the future of quizzing evolving? Because, what are the challenges do you see in sustaining these ethical standards, originality, research depth? Because this is an age of instant information, right? So, what do you think about it?
Yes, for this we have to go back to square one. This question is relevant in the concept that quizzing is about statistics, facts and figures. But as I said, this is not about mugging up information. Information part is there definitely, but that has gone down drastically or limited to only up to some extent. Currently quizzing is about connecting the dots. Like as I said, in one question itself you will get something, a visual in the science field, you may get some text in the literature field, you may get a video in the sports field. So you will be asked to connect all these three things and reach an answer. Of course, this kind of questions, if you give to AI, they may be solving it. But again, to create such kind of question, again, students may need certain non-AI skills, if you put it that way. So, as always, we also use AI up to some certain extent to see what are the things that can be asked. For example, currently we have a quiz today on Indian knowledge system. So, no harming checking AI and see what are the basic things that has to be asked, like what is this all about. So, in that way we can use AI up to some extent. I don't think that is a challenge anyway. Challenge is only when, as you said, there is no point in mugging up all these facts, statistics and figures. As I said, we even in the year 2000 we never ask these kind of questions that test their mugging up mugging up capacity, or what we call their memory, or their what do you call the storage space. It's not like that. All the questions will force the participants to think, to observe, to analyze, to use their logic. And the rounds and formats, I don't think AI can do anything about it. The rounds and format are in such a way that it will be testing their speed, quick thinking, decision making, time management, risk management even. So as I said, it's a totally different ball game in which the influence of AI is limited up to an extent, and that can be of course in a positive way only. We never felt, so far we never felt it challenging. We are trying to see like how this can be, how more effectively this can be used. That's what.
I think that's really a hopeful take, because like there being something that can tease the brain and kind of help cognitive abilities in an age of scrolling and
That's it.
everybody
Yeah.
relying on AI for everything. I think that is certainly a very hopeful take and very hopeful strategies that we can adopt. So, sir, finally, what advice would you give to young learners who are seeing quizzing not just as a hobby but as a serious educational and professional pathway?
Yeah, in case of professional pathway, if you talk about that, all the major examinations in India and even in the world, like there will be examination that do the filtering part. And in most of these examinations, these people are now checking these kind of skills rather than the depth and breadth of the knowledge. So first, students should understand what kind of skills are being tested in these kind of examinations and GDs and interviews. So a miniature version of all this can be seen in professional quizzing these days. So it's quite obvious that if they get trained from very young age, say first standard or second standard onwards, when they reach say +2 or degree or PG, and they are going to have a test that like something like the test of their life. As I said, major universities, even in the Indian civil service examination, the pattern has evolved this way, because it's quite obvious that there is no point in somebody having all this data stored on inside his or her head. But what is being needed is the ability to solve problems in an organization, in a company, to foresee problems, to quickly reach a solution. For example, a district collector may have some 50-60 people waiting for him, and 1 hour he has to deal with all these people. So time management is there. So in a miniature form of everything is seen in professional quizzing these days. That is the point missing everywhere. Even after 25 years, I happen to see that people come and say, okay, quizzing is a good game, GK will improve, you will get a lot of information. It's not like that. Quizzing is a totally different game these days. It's a like it's smart quizzing these days, not for nerds or bookworms or people who are mugging up facts, statistics and information, but people who want to improve their skills, people who would prefer self-testing, people who want to know where do I stand in my district, in my state, in my class, in my country. So that is basically a powerful, smart game. Anyone can, even not just the students, even professionals. We have quizzes for corporate. All the major companies participated actively, sending teams. Even I think Infosys and all major IT companies has got a quizzing culture inside their organization. They use quizzing for employee engagement. So it's like learning. It's like it's all about our curiosity. If you are curious, well and fine. If you are not curious, not just quizzing anything, nothing can be done. So basically, it's a game that helps you to to be curious, stay curious, and keep it going. And meanwhile, all the perks we talk about, we have been participating and even conducting quizzes that give away prize money worth certain lakhs and crores. So there are big opportunities there for the students. I think 200 to 300 quizzes are happening in Kerala in an academic year, and we have competitive examination, scholarship examination. So any student starting from kindergarten classes up to degree or PG level has got a ocean of opportunities in terms of quizzes. So not just the prizes, but it's an opportunity to develop their skills and knowledge and keep it going.
Sir, absolutely. This was a very insightful conversation, and all of us at Amrita, thank you for taking time out of your precious and very busy schedule to spend some time with us. I hope to connect with you in the future as well. Thank you so much.
I do hope so, sincerely. It's been a pleasure and privilege coming to this reputed institution, and I enjoyed this conversation a lot, and I hope quizzing will be evolving as a beautiful mind game, and Amrita will be one of the major players across the globe who is in the front run in supporting this mind game.
That
Thank
is
you.
certainly the
Thank
hope.
you.
Thank you, sir.